Welcome to the Summit, brought to you by Harry Wizards Gaming, your one-stop shop for all things gaming. I am Captain Cup. Joined with me is my co-host, The Grizz, special guest, Dr. Jack, and Psycho Pinguino. What is going on, fellas? How are we doing today?
Not too bad.
Good.
Good.
Normal Saturday.
Well, you all know why we're here. We're going to be kind of give everybody an idea. This is the first episode of our brand new podcast with the Harry Wizards Gaming crew. Just kind of here to talk video games, what's new, what we're playing, events, things like that. And obviously, y'all are more than welcome to join us on any of the social medias that you see rotating underneath us. Kind of to get things started, we're just going to kind of talk about what are we playing right now. And I think a lot of us are still really hitting Warzone pretty hard with the 2.0 that's been out for a while. A lot of the updates that have been coming out, new guns, and our boy Psycho here researching constantly with what we're doing.
All day.
So, I mean, top to bottom, I think we're doing almost everything, trying to get Micah to play every so often, make sure he gets an RPK and we're good. But yeah, I mean, anything crazy been happening for you guys on Warzone? I mean, we play a majority of the time with each other, but obviously interesting stuff does tend to happen.
No, I haven't played recently without y'all. So I mean, anything I've ran into, y'all have ran into it the same. So
I think the only weird thing that has really come up for me, and I don't know who was in that party, but that night that I got downed in the pregame lobby and stayed downed, and I think Psycho was the one that had to swim to the middle.
I jumped with you in the water and got you up before we even started the match.
But I mean, even other than that, there's just all that goofy stuff. I mean, the event for St. Patty's Day was awesome. I mean,
There's actually an event today. Supposedly it's zero gravity.
zero gravity.
Yeah, so like you hit somebody with a rocket launcher, they go.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think we'll probably hit that tonight anyway. I mean, just kind of our normal thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are we playing? I mean, we've been obviously hitting D&D other than video games, and if we want to talk all things gaming, had a pretty interesting night last night of that. But video games wise, what are you guys playing?
I'm currently with the release of MLB The Show this week. I've been, when available with my work schedule, I'm trying to hit that pretty hard. Get grind on that. And even when I'm just kind of relaxing, not messing with any Warzone, I'm on Dead by Daylight, getting those scares in.
And dude, what a phenomenally done game, and not in the sense of
Dead by Daylight.
yeah,
Oh, it's basic. That
well, that's the thing.
The only thing that can mess with that game is it's the killers. If you're playing your survivor, you get those. But any game, it's toxicity, or you get people that aren't very good and they just camp you. And then when you tell them they're bad, they're like, "Learn how to play the game." And it's like, bro, maybe you should learn how to play the game.
Well, and that's with any game, right? But look at how many imitators there are for Dead by Daylight. I mean, I think the first two, just to bring light to another one, is Friday the 13th, which we've all played.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
actually,
well, I don't know. I'd have to look at it and see, but
Yeah.
Did Friday the 13th come first or Dead by Daylight? It had to have been pretty close. I think that was the spur of though that gaming genre in a sense.
and then what?
I want to say Friday the 13th did come first.
And what this past year they had released the Corey, which was supposed to be very similar with 8 players though.
And we've played other games like that, Midnight Ghost Hunt's pretty similar in a different way. We played a little bit of that.
What's the Bigfoot one? The Bigfoot one's the same way.
I think it's just called Bigfoot.
Is it?
Dead by Daylight did come out first.
Yeah, but
By
I
a year or so.
I think the problem they had, and we had that one in Silence, but they kind of. I think the thing that a lot of those companies don't get, or maybe not even it's their fault, but the killers in a lot of those other games seem so overpowered, right? There's no escape. You get hit once, it's over. But Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th, you can get away, and I think that makes it a little bit more fun.
And also, I believe Dead by Daylight 2 is rumored to be in production. and I don't know what much else they can do to even make that game better. I mean, you can make the graphics more crispy, but other than that, like,
Well, you have different.
it's fine.
Well, you have different optimizations, right? And engines, like with like even the switch from Unreal Engine 4 to 5, it's not just graphics. There's optimizations they can do. There's programming and formatting they can do, and to make things run the way they want, right? So, doing something from engine to engine isn't an update. It's a complete revamp. So, I mean, they take their bases and go, but I think that's probably what you'll see is a lot of new graphic engines and new control engines and things like that. I don't think it'll be like a top to bottom, this is how the game plays now. But it's what you see a lot of, right? I mean, like Destiny 1 to Destiny 2 wasn't a different game. It was just a better version, graphically and mechanically of the game. Obviously, we've had our own tills with that game in the first place, but I know you're always playing something different than the rest of us, Dr. Jack.
Right now I'm playing Days Gone. It's an older game, but it was on sale, so I thought I'd check it out. It was a PlayStation exclusive, and now it's on PC.
Well, and like a total like an example title too, right? Like with PS5, they were like, look at what this can do.
Mm-hmm.
Even though not many of us are big fans of PlayStation, but we have those titles. Xbox, the Xbox One releases with, what was it, Rome or whatever it was.
Yeah,
that was
Rise.
Yeah, Rise. That's what it was.
Rise, Son of Rome. Yeah,
and that was
its
like
release game.
And that was their title to say, look at what this thing can do. And I think that was Days Gone, if I remember. It was such a hype thing to see how many entities could be on a screen at once. But now kicking it over to PC, I mean, I can't imagine, how crazy it probably is.
Yeah, it runs pretty good. There's quite a few bigger hordes of like 40 or 50 that you can kill all at once, or pretty close to.
And like also another game of a genre that exploded and had a lot of really good titles and a lot of really bad titles. Another one to touch on, even in that kind of same genre-ish, like Dying Light and Dying Light 2, also heavy hitters in those aspects.
Oh, yeah.
I liked Dying Light, the first one, quite a bit. I haven't played a lot of the DLCs. Dying Light 2, they went in this time with no guns, which, I mean, I was expecting guns when I came into it, but there's not.
At all.
But it's not horrible.
Really? I played me and you played quite a bit, and I thought we just hadn't gotten to guns. You know what I mean? Like,
No, they just don't have guns as far as I know. I could be wrong, but I haven't beaten it. I'm pretty close to the end, though.
Continuing on. I really, Warzone, our kind of, single player stuff we're doing. I played that new Yakuza style game, Like a Dragon Ishin. Streamed that for a little while, and what a cool way to do like a update, or even like a completely like blow the bomb up and start over kind of situation. Like a Dragon Ishin, if anybody's played the Yakuza games, they're great fight 'em beat 'em up games with phenomenal stories. Like the storytelling is awesome, but they took all the characters from the Yakuza games, like their character models, and placed them in this world in feudal Japan as different characters. So like the familiarity for people that moved to this game from Yakuza was there because the main character is the same person and voice and all this stuff. That was a really cool idea, I think, to like jumpstart a new series. It was just neat. I haven't gotten through it yet. I do want to continue playing it, but most of the time I'm on with the squad, so a lot of that single player stuff you don't get a lot of time for. Another one that we've been playing currently is Demonologist. Just started that game this week. Just came out, fresh release. What a great option is what I'll say. Does need some of that polish that Phasmo's had some of, but I can tell you that it's probably better polished than Phasmo was on a release. A lot of people have gotten to learn from Phasmo, I think, and they're making these type of games. But man, I love the interaction, the talking, and all four of us have played it. It's tough. They don't hand you a damn thing. What did you guys think of it? I mean, so far, likes, dislikes, or any of that?
The only thing is they just need that the first update. Patch some of there's some rubber banding occasionally, but I mean compared to some of the other ones we've played, like in the Phasmo fucking
genre.
Genre is the second best that we've played.
Yeah,
I think,
for
'cause we
sure.
tried that, what, 4-1
What
or
what's
whatever,
the second
Egyptian one?
best?
I'd say
Demonologist.
Demonologist, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's better than Ghost.
Exorcism.
Or, yeah.
Exorcism now.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and then we had, what was that
Forewarned
Egyptian
thing.
one? Yeah, Forewarned, that's what it
Forewarned,
was, yeah.
That was fun though. That was
We
more
do-
challenging than the other ones.
Well, it was different because you had the option at death to be against or help the players, which was a cool aspect. That game's gotten a ton of large updates too. There is so much that almost we should go back and try, because if you go back and look, I mean, they've from top to bottom, that game is like at 2.0 or 3.0 status now instead of 1.0 when we were playing it. But that might be another good one to get on stream. But yeah, I mean, just a lot of really, really good, horror stuff out there. I hate horror. I don't even know how it happened that we got into this.
Because I like it.
Well, but like part of it, I think before you came through, we were like, part of it was for my stream. I'm like, okay, what do we play this? I've been hearing about it. We should try this out. It'll suck, but I'll do it. And then we get into.
When I got my PC, I had seen you guys play it, and I was like, I don't like ghosts. Like, I'm terrified of that stuff in real life. But I was like, why not just get scared? I guess playing a game.
I know, man. Like, it's super ridiculous.
Nothing beat man, what was that game?
Fear Therapy.
Yeah, that one.
What a
That was-
Is
mess.
that the one with the
That we returned after one game.
the manic dolls?
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
that I literally could not fucking move in. Like, that bitch jumped into my face and it was done. It was over. Like, terrible. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's the one I sent you all, right?
No, I don't think I think you sent you didn't know. You didn't buy it for it. Oh, wait.
Because I did buy one that you all returned.
Well, we couldn't return it because you.
Or yeah, you couldn't return it because I bought it.
Yeah, it was like stuck as a stain in my Steam library.
Did
forever.
you buy In Silence? Was that the one you bought?
No, In Silence was me.
Okay.
Yeah, he
I
did
didn't
buy.
like that one either. He
He
bought
did-
Pacify. Pacify
Yeah.
is the one
Yeah.
he bought.
Yeah.
I don't.
Never again, bro. No.
What was, oh man, what was that? Prop Night? That was along the lines of that.
Bro,
Dead City, like,
Also,
and it was really fun.
Also, another game that's getting a complete revamp right now. They're taking away the cheesiness of it. They're going to turn it to, like, if you go and look in the update stuff that they're talking about, they're flipping it to, like, completely horror. Like, it should be terrifying now. It's going to be dark. It's going to be, scary. Like, I think that was the part is everybody's like, this game is way too cheesy. Like, it was a good prop hunt game, but it wasn't, like, scary, right? It wasn't.
I enjoyed it.
I mean, like, how many times did we play it in? But I mean, like, how many times did we play it and we just messed with them? Like, it wasn't like there wasn't any like,
I mean, that's
holy
what I was
shit!
there for.
Bonkatron 6000,
Yeah,
bro.
the old fucking Bonky Kong, baby.
Yes, sir. That was me.
But like,
Psycho here is like, this is an unfair advantage because Grizz is an experienced Dead by Daylight player. This is his type of game, and he can actually mess with the killer and screw them over a lot. This is bad. Like, we watched me take a 1v1 and it was nothing.
but I think like them bringing the true
Horror,
horror will change it.
Worth another visit. It's been a while.
Well, and I don't know if that update's done yet, but I do know that they had like a beta test of it. Like, you could go in and play in the new style for a while, and I jumped in and it was significantly different. Like
I guess Ghost Watchers is getting an update too.
yeah, I forgot we had that. That game was interesting.
That one.
That was
That was the one that the ghost could chase you out of the house, wasn't it?
I think so.
Like, you were only safe in the car, and it could beat the hell out of your car and get in.
Yeah, we did. Enjoy
Yeah. Yeah, the Japan map. Where if you weren't in the bus.
Yeah, it come for you. It was over.
Grizz, you played that one.
Yeah, we played it.
Oh.
Because Exorcism was like that too. It could chase you all the way to the bus, but it couldn't. It would.
Yep.
It would bonk off the bus. Where
Yep.
that Ghost Watchers one, it could rip the doors off it and stuff. But yeah, I mean, that game was good too. But yeah, I mean, some stuff we probably should go back to, and we could do some reviews on that and stuff like that, and just check out what we think. But
Midnight Ghost Hunt got another one too.
yeah, that was
another major update.
As I say, that was the 1v4 PvP one, if I remember right. Or no, it was more than that because you could have 2 ghosts and 4 or 5 people. I remember there being you could have a second teammate on the ghost side.
I don't remember. I know we all played it. We've played a lot of the horror genre.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, just stuff to like go back to. I mean, we should. And it's kind of nice, these conversations, I think, will bring that stuff up for us.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's move on to maybe some stuff we're looking forward to. Like, obviously, with the 2 betas of Diablo 4, I mean, god damn, what a masterpiece. I mean, hopefully they update some stuff. There's a couple issues out there, I know, with people complaining about the Necro and the Druid, which is probably why they didn't let anybody, play them at first, because they maybe were trying to do some balancing. But other than that, I mean, play-wise, the world, the storytelling, the cinematics, I mean, what a monster of a game already. Like, I know we had a lot of fun doing it. I mean...
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even my style of game. Like I told you when we got 3, I was like, I don't even play these games. Played 3 a little bit with you, and then we got on 4, and I was like, man, this is way better. Like, this one's on point.
Yeah. One, like...
I mean,
I've always been a big fan of that lore of the, like, demons and heaven versus hell and stuff like that. I just think that's super interesting, and, like, people's look at that. But, man, they are crushing it. I still have a feeling Diablo or Deckard Cain's going to make an appearance in one shape or form. I mean, there's cover art, there's arts out there that what's her name? The main villain. I can't remember her name, but she's holding Diablo's skull in one of those cinematics. So it's like, I see him working his way out.
Lilith,
that's her name. I still think that damn wolf is Diablo. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
we'll see.
Possibly.
The only thing that brought me to that conclusion as just like a theory, right, was you go to that portion of the game where he takes you back to Tristram, and he talks about how it's Diablo did all this, it's Diablo's realm or whatever, and he knows a lot about it, and he's like, if you're, you can search around, whenever you're done, follow me, and he teleports you back out of it to where, like, in a sense, is Diablo trying to lead you into, like, here, this is what my, you know what I mean? Like, trying to keep it secret, or, like, that he's a friend. But it's a wolf that saved you, maybe to use you as a vessel to bring him back, because that's what he does. Look at all the other games, if you don't know the lore. 2, he's in the Soul Stone, and that stone makes your character from 1 go crazy and smash it into your head. 3, the Black Soul Stone, he works his powers through and takes over that gal's body that was Deckard Cain's niece or whatever, and that becomes Diablo through her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, he's a powerful being, man. And Lilith is just the daughter of Mephisto.
I would say something I'm looking forward to. They don't have release dates. Is they've confirmed a new Fable 4. They've confirmed a new Dragon Age. I mean, those
are the far out ones, though.
Well, I mean, just like Elder Scrolls 6. I know me and Mike are big Bethesda fans.
Yep, same. Yep.
But like Fable 4.
ESO stuff's coming next month. This month.
Which one?
Need to go back
New ESO stuff's coming in a couple months, I think.
Well, that company's got to breathe life until there's releases, like Starfield.
Hey man, people still play it, dude.
I know what I'm saying is they have to. Like, they can't.
Oh yeah.
They can't dump any of their titles. That's why Fallout 76 still has servers running, because that game tanked royally, but they've got to keep their name out there, right?
Because I mean, everyone that went from Skyrim to ESO, you had to be let down at least a little bit.
It was more like a lot of bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, personally, yes, it was a lot of bit for me, because realistically, you could have copied and pasted Skyrim and just made a multiplayer. You know, that play style, not the spells and stuff keybinded and stuff.
I mean, there are mods that make Skyrim multiplayer, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I actually believe they got rid of them. Like,
You were
Well-
let down by what, Chris?
ESO. It's just like, because I mean, I put hundreds and hundreds of hours into Skyrim because it was just that great. Like, I could go back today. I haven't played it in years, and know exactly where to go for every mission. And
But
then
I
you
mean-
pick up ESO, they'd release like the good parts of stuff you loved in the main game as DLC,
Yeah.
like Dark Brotherhood, Thieves Guild, all stuff that, like, if you were a Skyrim player, you could just straight up go there and do that if you wanted at level 5.
I'll give ESO their credit though, because every single one of their expansions hits hard. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's a massive update.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's not like it's a little
mean-
bit. Like, it's a lot.
I mean, it's definitely like from release, it is a much better game. I mean, I went back and visited it probably 2 years or so now, and was like a level away from max level and just stopped playing again. I believe Psycho, you and I were saying,
I
go
got
back to
deep
it.
into it when I went
Yeah,
back and
yeah.
got into running all the like bigger dungeons and stuff.
Yeah, and it was a lot more enjoyable, but it still is not the ESO or the Elder Scrolls and that we really enjoyed. Because I mean, I know for you and me, we started on Oblivion.
Right.
And that
I have
game,
Oblivion on my computer still,
that-
man.
Honestly, that game is regarded, that and like Morrowind are regarded as the best too, realistically.
Yep.
Well, and the biggest trouble I think with the online, I mean, we're going to talk about Fallout 76 along with
Oh yeah.
ESO, and not that they're comparable. ESO is clearly the better title. I'm not arguing that by any means, but
Yep.
you're taking a company that strives in single player RPG storytelling and vastness of a world. Well, now you're taking this and you have to make a story that fits every single person, every style character, every single background, where the nice part about having a single player game is you're railroading them. You're like, you know, you have all the side quests that can be their own entities, but you have a main story that can be you are this person, not you. Everyone that was spawned today is a dragonborn, and you can only kill the one dragon. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
where games like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV strive is that they had no expectation. Well, yeah, but like they have no expectation. Neverwinter is a big deal because Dungeons and Dragons has no expectation. You have no expectation of what's going to happen next. As opposed to games like Fallout and games like Elder Scrolls Online, where I think people were expecting that grandiose story where you're the chosen one. Well, now it's your group is the chosen people, or every one of you is striving to beat this bigger, badder evil. And I think that just at first was different for them enough to where it didn't come out right. And I think the problem is they also released Fallout 76 after they had made the corrections to ESO. And Fallout being Fallout 76 being like a new IP in general, it had a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
I would say Fallout 76 biggest issue when it came out, like, was it was an empty game because they had no NPCs, they had none of that. It was empty. Like, they needed to fix that. Like, it was bad. And when they did fix it, I'm not gonna lie, I went back and played for a while, and it made it 20 times better. Being able to interact with people and NPCs walking around, you had the trade caravans again. It made it a 100% better game having the NPCs you could talk to.
And I think when I went for it, I think we played it together. My biggest thing, my biggest problem with it is it just wasn't. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a big Fallout fan. It doesn't scratch every single itch for me. It's just I'm not a big fan of the format. I'm not like, oh, end of the world, nuclear destruction, junk, everything. And it just doesn't have the razzle dazzle, that a medieval style game does for me.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer the medieval as well.
I didn't like when they added the base building being like a huge part of it. Like in 4, when they added like the whole you got to build your base up and do all this.
Yeah, I never
pretty
did
much
that.
stopped
They
that.
they lost me there, and then when you go to 76, like that's a big part of it, and it's just not. It's not my thing. Like, I mean, Elf would love it. that would be her thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what else game? I believe Mass Effect is getting a new game.
Well, Mass Effect just had a big release on Steam. I think it was the like Legendary Edition or something like that. It's on sale right now. I saw it last night.
They remastered the original 3, but I mean, if you have Game Pass, you can download it on your PC for free anyways. That's like the Master Edition of because they remastered the first 3. Because
You mean because they tried to kill it with Andromeda?
yeah, Andromeda
God.
did kill it. They'll get them out. But I do believe I want to say 4 is being made, and I believe like a lot of the original team is going to be the people working on it. Because 4, what? You weren't Shepard. You were just some random guy.
No, I thought you were a relative or some stupid shit. Or was it?
Yeah, but I think you could make your own name because
Oh.
the original trilogy.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were
yeah.
Whatever, Shepard.
Yeah, because wasn't it 3? You were his son or daughter or something?
No, 3 were still Shepard.
So I thought there was a relative thing, like you were his relative or something.
But I think that's kind of what the case might have been in Andromeda, but because I recall 3, you are still Shepard.
Gotcha.
And
Because I thought he
that-
died. No, because Shepard dies right away. I thought in 3.
Oh no! See, okay, I'm thinking 2.
Yeah, because 3, I
I don't
think
recall
Shepard
3
dies. Either dies at the end of
Whoa.
2 or dies in 3. Spoilers.
Well,
And your take
3
on?
3 has got bad reviews because I believe the ending was.
Well, the ending was shit. All the endings were shit from what I remember. But I thought 3, you play his son or daughter.
Maybe
After
I don't
he
remember
dies.
that one a whole lot. 2 was a heartbreak.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Mass Effect 4 got delayed because half the development team got taken for Dragon Age.
I was gonna say, yeah, BioWare is probably assessing assets and
See, and even what Dragon Age was the last one, Inquisition.
Yeah,
Inquisition was good, dude.
it was good. It was
but
great.
It didn't follow the first 2, and it added the multiplayer aspect, which was
I enjoyed.
enjoyable. I enjoyed the multiplayer. I don't remember what the class was called. Man, there was a tank class that its lifesteal was stupid. It
Yes, sir.
was stupid stuff, man.
That's where I learned to be a tank.
The shitty part is I really believe that 1 was the best, and not just being like sequels always suck. But I remember
Right.
playing 2 and it just being like, I love the combat. I love the combat in those games. But I just remember being like, man, 1 story was so cool.
Dude,
I've never actually played any of them.
Oh,
What?
they're
That is your thing. You need to play
I have
them.
them all too.
There's some
Hey,
other-
Micah, I've never played the stories. I just played the multiplayer on 30 or
Oh
Inquisition.
my
Wait,
gosh.
we're talking about Dragon Age?
Dragon Age. Yeah.
Dragon
Oh,
Age
there you
and
go.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect, you know,
I've not
okay.
played.
Mass Effect is one of the first games I remember where your choices in game affect your ending. It's one of the they were pretty early to that I can recall. Because if you didn't send a certain person somewhere, that character is going to end up dead. And
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
had a
That was
favorite character
you
really
three, right?
enjoyed.
That was 2 or 3 that did that really
Same.
big.
The whole last mission is, I mean, if you had your favorite characters, you were on Google. Where do I need to send this person so they live?
Speaking of endgame shit that your decisions made a big change, back to the whole talk of Fable. I remember feeling so bad in Fable 3 that I just straight up was like, fuck that guy. And then you're like, oh shit, I just made everybody's life great and now the whole city got fucked up.
The second one to me was so much better.
Fable,
Third one.
I did enjoy it a lot.
I feel like the third one, the story wasn't as good. I loved 2. I thought it was amazing.
2's the best Fable.
Yeah, I mean, in my
I
opinion.
just liked the multiplayer in 3 a lot. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
3 you could definitely make it so money was no problem. I mean, you bought enough houses in the town and it was just
Oh yeah.
rack money up. But like,
And hey, if you were a good blacksmith, that's how you got all that money first. You would just sit there for hours.
dude,
And that shit.
the best part. So Trippity Trav, everybody pretty much knows, and then Bubble Light, who owns Loot Cave LLC. I am charging for that ad right there. He and Trav were running a playthrough, a no death playthrough, to get that achievement, and they got to the part where the what are the wolf things called?
Dude.
God
That game so long.
damn it!
Yeah, I haven't played Fable in so long.
The werewolf things.
Uh-huh.
But
I
they
know
get,
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
well, they got to that part and they were like mid mission, and Trevor had to go to the bathroom, and so he runs away. He's like, "Don't let me die," and Trav's like, "I got you." Well, Trav misstepped and walked a step too far from where they're at, and the white one came down with a bunch of, and he's like fighting for his life. I'm pretty sure I was in the chat, and he's just like fighting for his fucking life, trying to kill all these things so they don't hit Trevor. And Trevor, Balverines, that's what they're called, by the way. And they're fighting, and Trevor gets killed. And so the whole run is shot. Trevor comes back, and Trav's like, "I'm so fucking sorry. I'm so fucking sorry. I tried to kill them all, and they just kept coming." So all the time, like, you'll hear them in, playing games if they're playing with us, and somebody will get killed, and Trav will say fucking Balverines, or Trevor will say, "Oh, Balverines must have got me," like after he comes back. And it's always back to that, and I love it. It's just like so good if you know the story, because I remember just hearing him fight for his fucking life. He's like, "Please just stop coming," and nothing they could do. It was just great.
Another game series that really the first one was the best is Gears. I mean, I was huge into Gears. The original trilogy was fantastic.
Hot take. Fucking hate him.
I actually never played any of the Gears.
The campaign and multiplayer is very good. The first one is the best, but the original trilogy, the story, captivating, beginning to end.
Sorry, Army of Two did it better.
That's a lie. Army of Two, I love. The first game, though, you could beat in 3.5 hours in the story mode. I'm just saying.
Army of Two was fantastic.
It was. I'd love to see it try and make a resurgence. I would. I would pick it up. But Gears, I mean,
I still think Gears is riding on a hype. Every time they say something, I think it's just the people that loved that game brought it, bring it back every time.
I mean, they've made some bad ones. I won't sit here and lie. Judgment.
4 and 5.
Multiplayer was fine. The stories were not nearly as good, but
4 or 5 in Judgment. So half of them have been trash.
No, because
That's what I
4 and 5
just
aren't
heard.
complete trash.
That's what I just heard.
They're just not as good as the original trilogy. Okay, if you want to talk about games that have let down in the future now,
say it, I dare.
Halo.
Oh, thank God.
I agree. I mean,
Guardians. I was so
yeah,
hyped, and it just was not the.
It was so.
What do you think? Last good one was what? ODST.
I mean, I was. Multiplayer.
I lost it at 3, man. Like 3 was the last one I was really super excited.
Well, that's why I said last good one. Last good one.
Well, that's the
I
problem.
enjoyed the campaign and the story of 4.
A super soldier.
All I'm getting at with them is that, like, for me, I can't tell you if I played Reach. I don't remember it. That's probably the biggest problem for me is if I don't remember.
It wasn't that great. Yeah.
For me, and again, I know tons of people that are like, ODST was great, Reach was great, which is fine. But like, I remember playing 3 and be like, okay, I'm over this. And then I played through. Is Guardians 5 or is the newest one 5?
The newest one is Guardians. 5 was before Guardians.
Okay, so 5 is that the one with the weird like alien that just
I'm not gonna lie, I stopped playing.
I don't know.
Are you talking about the Flood?
So many games.
No, I know what the Flood are. No, he was a new like all be all god that was in it. I'm pretty sure that was not the most recent one, but the one before.
No, that would have been 5.
So I played the whole thing, but it was so off the wall, like a new entity. Like, it was just strange. Like, it was that all like, I don't know, just goofy. But
the big thing that was with Guardians was when it came out, the campaign you couldn't play co-op.
Well, yeah,
That made a lot of people upset.
that sucked.
Rightfully so. Yeah.
Well, couldn't you play couch co-op or no?
I don't even remember.
I think you
I
could.
don't think you.
I think Smiley and Elf did, because I was here when that happened, and we didn't play. We only played multiplayer.
And I mean, even the multiplayer was not as good as.
What about? Let's talk about specifically the newest multiplayer, because I think they hit it. I think they hit it on the multiplayer, the new one. Like
I didn't mind it.
I think it was fun. I mean, it was so weird to go back to a Halo multiplayer for me personally, because we're so used to the, aim down sights, make sure you hit your shots. Whereas I get the idea behind, you know,
Halo's one of those games that if you're not playing Halo over the years and you go to the newest release, you're gonna get creamed every time.
Well,
if
and
you're not keeping up on your Halo.
and I'm being real. I don't
that's
give a
what
fuck
I
about
mean.
losing. Like, people, if you play games with me, like, yeah, I get the fuck yous and whatever. But, like, losing, it's part of the game to me. Like, getting your ass beat, it is what it is. But, like, I think the idea behind Halo is that, you know, Spartans are super soldiers. Why are they don't need to lock up and get it. They have automatic targeting and all that crazy shit.
Yeah, that's not what I'm just saying. Like, it's if you're not somebody that's religiously like a Halo player, and the newest Halo comes out, and you're excited for it because you have played Halo in the past and you enjoy it. When you go back to it, you're getting ran through.
Well, yeah.
I haven't kept up on your Halo skills specifically.
Well, but yeah,
I'll
but
give you a hot take. I don't care about Halo at all.
if Halo nothing ever happened to Halo again, I would be in the same boat. I wouldn't be like, man, do you remember
Yeah, I
Halo?
wouldn't be upset.
I don't
You know what I
care.
mean?
Yeah, I just don't care.
But like, I think Call of Duty's in the same boat. If you don't play Call of Duty, like me specifically, as we've been playing Warzone and shit, clearly my level of what I need to do and that is better. And realistically, in gaming, all of us are past the prime, right? Like, we are never going to be as good as we could be. You could say all you want, but once
No.
Yeah.
You can have Grizz this. I am better at Call of Duty now than I've ever been.
that's
that's
fine.
true.
But if you look,
Arguably, like 100%.
that's fine. But being better than you've ever been and being better than you ever could be are two completely different things. If you look statistically throughout, like, gaming statistics, and
Oh, I know you're.
we are,
What is it, like 16 to 25 is like your
yeah,
prime for
yeah,
gaming?
and you're not looked at a second time unless you're incredible. People like Dr. Disrespect and Tim the Tapman and all that stuff like that are anomalies. And they're good, but I bet you younger versions of themselves could be better. It's 100% fact.
They're popular just because there's a lot of personality. It's not that
Again,
they're great
right.
players.
Again, anomalies. They're popular and they're good enough at the game to where that has made them
People want to watch.
right. Whereas people like from FaZe and the Buccaneers and all those different teams, those guys like have to have fucking consent forms from their parents to go to these things. You know what I mean? Like, that's how young these guys are. And they're that good because they're in that zone where, yes, we probably all are getting better than we ever were, but 22-year-old, you know, me and 22-year-old Grizz and 22-year-old Jack and 22-year-old Psycho, probably if we played as religiously as we do now, with the setups we have and what we can do with it, would have been better. It's the
That's
fact.
the thing. They also like. I mean,
That's their job.
yeah, that's their job. But like what you said, like with the setups we have, with the stuff. Well, if we had this stuff back then, who's to say we wouldn't be that good then? You know what I'm saying?
That's my point, is that
I know. I think the technology we have now has like a lot to do with like old Call of Duty didn't have no aim assist. We didn't have that.
Well, I get it. I'm agreeing with that sense, but what I'm getting at is if you took us and just made us younger now, like if we were just younger
We
people,
literally had nothing to worry about but playing video games.
well, even just the tools we have now, like we all are adults making adult money that can, if I want to buy this game or if I want to play this, I'm gonna do it. When I was 17, 18 years old, dude, I was fucking eating corn out of a can that I lit over a lighter. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, here, man, I got the perfect name for you. Grizz knows. I used to be like a god at Madden. Alright? I downloaded the newest Madden to play the other day and I lost to the computer.
don't talk to me
And I
about
was
Madden,
like-
you two
I
fucking
was
crazy
like,
fucks.
Bruh.
Back to that
Like,
too.
I played in tournaments,
Yeah.
like in high school. I suck at Madden now.
I mean, like, unpopular opinion, but like talking about Rider of Dragons, like he was semi-professional. Like he was good. Like he played in tournaments, he traveled, he made money, and I think, you know, he's definitely not as good as he used to be. But you can tell, like, if you watch him sometime, he has those old style COD, what I would call instincts, right? Like he's always poking and like he's used to doing in multiplayer. Like I was watching the other night when you guys were in a match, when we were in a match together and I was just spectating because I died. He does have those, you know, those old like whoop "Ooh," and he's got that realization. But I just think, it's crazy that we're as good as we've ever been at our age. And I talk like we're fucking old men, but in the world of gaming, we are.
Yeah. I mean, I've never. This might be the first Call of Duty where I put myself up over, like, solid over a 1.
As far as
Well-
KD.
Yeah, like, I mean, but back in the day, I used to be objective play only. Like,
you know the crazy
we'd
thing?
play cap the flag, and I'd have 50 deaths, but I'd have all the flag captures. I wouldn't care.
I mean, I started gaming. I mean, just because Psycho is older than me and we're brothers, we grew up all playing all the same games. I mean, I didn't hit a prime until like Modern Warfare 2. Of,
Right.
like, starting getting good at the game, and I remember I played through my first Prestige. I was a negative KD. And the second I hit that I prestiged that first time, something switched. I became a good player, and I've maintained the same kill death probably since then. I stay around 1.2 or more. The anomaly for me was probably Black Ops 1, but I just feel like Black Ops 1 had the easiest multiplayer, and I think I was a 1.5 or 1.6 player.
Well, and like, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was like a 0.6 on like Modern Warfare 2, bro, and I'm
Yeah.
like a 1.3 something now. So I mean, like it's way.
Mine.
Well, and like even just as recent as Warzone 2, I mean, like you guys knew me. I didn't play COD at all. Like you had to beg me to play Warzone last game, and like steady shit. Like I was a support player all day fucking long for a long time, and now just playing recently, my kills are better. My instincts are better. My watching's better. My aim's better. Like I'm useful in a sense, but like that's just the interesting is we've been just fucking playing, and I wish I would have been that, in the sense of with my streaming career and stuff like that, if I would have really focused on something specifically. But for me, changing topics a little bit and kind of wanting to go into this Nintendo era or branch. I mean, games like Pokemon that, you play Pokemon with me, you realize that's where my time is spent. You play Zeldas with me, you realize that's where my time's spent. Dragon Ball Z games and stuff like that, that's where my time's spent. But like,
That's what's up if you want to win.
but like, I have, records posted for different speed runs and different stuff like that. And, I've competed nationally and regionally for Pokemon, like that's like the big shift, right? Like I wasn't playing first person shooters unless it was the weekends with friends and stuff like that. And I was really spending my time deep in the depths of my basement playing Pokemon and Zeldas and stuff. Like I remember one day specifically, it was a Black Friday, and we had gone out shopping. We were taking a break at like 3 a.m, and my buddies were like, we were talking about Zelda, and I'm like, what do you want to see? A high level player in Ocarina of Time? And they're like, what do you mean? I said, how long do you think it took you to get out of the Lost Woods? You know what I mean? They're like, oh, I don't know, a couple hours or so. And I ran through that first dungeon in less than 25 minutes. I was turned the game on and was out going to the castle in, a quarter of the time the average human being is. So it's just like, and then being normal for me, right? Like in general, and then seeing somebody go, just with the speed is, that was what I did, It's just interesting.
I noticed that you were 100% more into Nintendo when Pearl came out, I believe. The remake of Pearl
Yeah.
stuff. Because, I remember growing up playing Pokemon. I never had those support moves in my builds. And I would hear you and Smiley talking like, oh, I believe I watched you battle somebody on Sword, maybe.
Yeah, and like Calm Mind or something like that. And,
Yeah, and you guys were using support moves, and I'm like, bro, what? Like,
Yeah.
I never, growing up, man, give me
No.
4 attack moves. I don't
Hey.
care.
I'm gonna be honest with you. first and second generation of my life, that's the way it was.
Right.
Your mind goes, if I can hit this guy as hard as I can, as fast as I can, I win. But the problem is that one Pokemon that is the opposite, and it comes back at you and hits you hard. Things like abilities and natures when they came out, that changed the whole outlook for me. I'm like sitting there, and you go to hit somebody, and they legitimately can't do shit about it, or the doesn't do anything for you. All of a sudden I'm like, oh motherfucker, like this is gonna change the game.
I mean, I stopped after Gen 3 probably playing for a long time.
Right.
Really didn't pick up one on a console till Sword and Shield come out.
Yeah.
I kept up with it and I knew about all of them, but like I wasn't keeping up playing the games. I didn't have a DS and all the other Nintendo systems that had come out between that and the Switch. And then, like, just hearing you guys be like, "Oh, I'm using this ability because it does this," and I'm like, and that's like when the new raids come out for the newest game. I'm like, well, I need to see what the heck they're running because if I want to do this, I need this.
Well, Terra typing changed a lot too.
Well, yeah,
Like,
threw a
go-
big
go-
wrench.
Honestly,
Going into those battles, like even when I know what I need and like stuff like that, like I still get whooped
oh yeah,
in some of those. And I'm like, dude, this is the opposites of both of your types right now. Like, how is this possible?
Well, and it's not even just that. It's almost like, too, you got to be careful in those raids. Specifically, not only hitting hard, but you have to play on the defense. And defensively, that Terra typing, and they have one move, that's stab, and it shouldn't be for them. And you have to play on, like, trying to figure out the two ways to defend against it. And with Terra raids, specifically the big bad raids, most of those are teams, right? You have to have the right mix. It's not just coming in there and like, me and Smiley's builds are hit hard, hit fast, but we need somebody to heal. Like, that's why items as well are a big deal. Shell bells to get you, some of your HP back.
You talking
Leftovers.
about the 7 stars?
Yeah, as opposed to a regular fight, there's another dynamic. It doesn't even like take away this and add this. It just adds to the dynamic, which is really fun. There's stuff that we're having to use that I would not in a million years competitively use. You know what I mean? Like, Iron Hands with Belly Drum and, electric terrain to get the battery that you put on
And
him.
Azurill that freaking just melted everything. I was like, what is this?
and I mean that's realistically going back to all of that is like we all have different games that we've honed in on. Honestly,
Yeah.
like Dr. Jack, I mean, for the most part, he plays a lot of single player games. I've noticed, and then he's really good at the more, I guess, games that take a lot more of a learning curve. Like he's a Tarkov guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm not a Tarkov guy at all.
Satisfactory is like
Bam!
this
I was
big
waiting for
thing,
somebody else to
like,
say that shit.
Right. but it's like,
I've watched videos on that and I'm like, bro, I could never, like, I've seen Jack's thing and I'm like, bruh, you put hours into this.
but I've also noticed he picks up on it so quickly. Like playing Civ. He's like, I've never played Civ. Second game, he's got the biggest army, and you're like, what did you do that, like, I've played this game for 40 hours this week, and I can't do that as fast as you're doing this. So,
Well,
like,
yeah.
like, I've the only one out of, like, the entirety of the people we play with that I'm into the sports games. And I'm honed in on those.
I dropped them.
Well, I love them. Not Madden as much. It's just a copy and paste every year to me.
2K let me down. So I
2K is
dropped
kind
them.
of the same, but that's a game I do enjoy playing because it's also like, I guess it's more I enjoy the people I play with. It makes it more enjoyable for me. Or I mean, I also play Smite still. Like I'm still.
Yo, speaking of Smite, when we're talking
They had a
about
lot of people mad right now.
Yeah?
Because they released their update.
They fixed it though.
But they did fix it. For now. They're going to go back to it. They changed their HUD on console to be like the PC HUD. And a lot of console players are very upset. So they've taken it and reverted it back to what it is. But it's for the time being.
But
They're
like
gonna try and make it more smooth for a console player.
that game was the game for me that flipped the switch for MOBAs. Like I remember playing being
That's the first
just
one I played.
straight dog shit on like
Yep.
League and Smite, couldn't do it. And I remember literally playing in one game and that switch in my head was like, boop, this is how you play. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, now I'm good.
Like, so for me, I played with people that had played the game for years already. They were, they're there to carry the team. I'm here to play my role as the tank. That's what I'm doing. And
The
that's-
Ares Hades combo back in
Yeah,
the day
I
before
always-
Hades got switched to a tank.
No, he
Or
got
no?
away from tank.
Yes,
Yes,
because we used to run dual
Still-
tanks. You'd
he's
pull him in and then I'd hold him in.
He's disgusting. Still, he's amazing.
All I'm saying is Kukul Khan's my boy.
But I mean, I switched from tank to hunter to DPS, and I play, in my eyes, I play hunter well. I run a similar build for most, but like, don't catch me as a warrior or an assassin. I can do warrior because it's a tank, essentially, but assassin's not my thing. Mage, not the worst.
See, my
Those are-
brother would kill it with Loki. Like, kill it with
Oh,
Loki.
dude, I promise you, I get the shit to this day from the people I play Smite with. I literally played a game as Loki and did like 900 damage. The entire game. I am that badly obsessed.
Well, like, great games. I do really want to railroad us into the new Zelda. I mean, going back to what's coming, what we're excited for. Zelda is. I'm so excited. Like, that game is going to be 100% streamed. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Never played it.
That hurts my feelings. But anyway, the crazy part is like with this new one, Tears of the Kingdom. There's a lot of suspect that Zelda's gonna be changed to an Ouroboros style. The story ends and starts with this game. There's a lot of speculation on that, to where because they have a timeline. If you go on, like I have the Hyrule story sitting here, but there is a timeline for everything. But there's a lot of suspect. Look at him getting a switch out. God, I'm proud of him. But there's some suspect that this game will be the link from the end to the start of the timeline, because the whole lore is that the bloodline of Link, Ganon, and Zelda is cursed to repeat itself over and over again. Like their bloodline will always be the hero, the princess, and the demon. But they're bringing back sky stuff. They're bringing vehicles that you can build, like sailboats and shit that you can make, and all this crazy shit. And that game comes out, I think, in May, if I remember right.
I'm pulling it up right now. Yeah, May 12th.
Whew. Time to no life that shit. So that I'm just saying, man. Same thing with Hogwarts Legacy. Like I just honed in on it and finished it. Like that's my toxic trait. I'm getting to the end, motherfucker. I'm going.
I think Jack's gonna probably be that way. Next month with the release of last Jedi Survivor?
Yeah, probably.
I hope it's good. I didn't finish the other one. I wanted to, but
I started it. It was one of those
Doesn't
things
it?
where it
Doesn't
started and never
Redfall come
finished.
out next month too?
I believe so.
yeah. Also, they did release that they're remaking Knights of the Old Republic.
But the
Yep.
PlayStation exclusive.
Yep, I'm definitely gonna be
PlayStation?
playing that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. See, so look, as much hate as we give to PlayStation, we cannot say they don't have great exclusives. They
That's
do.
because no. We cannot say that because they keep all their stuff. Xbox and
Yeah,
Nintendo
well-
share. They don't care.
Yeah, that and
And then
also have,
Sony's
we
like,
have-
nah.
we have Microsoft made their huge deal of like where we gave all our exclusives to PC as well. His Gears, Halo, those were our big boys when it came to exclusives. If we're being honest about it,
I will give PlayStation credit. They did give God of War.
they have given us God of War
And Final Fantasy VII.
well, plus
They gave Xbox MLB The Show for Game Pass as
yes, which
I don't think they had a choice in that. Just like the with the contract for Final Fantasy, they didn't have a choice with like the old titles that got all, if you remember that big flood of Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 or not 11 but 10 and 12 got pushed into all the other consoles is because they didn't have a choice.
They also gave Horizon Zero Dawn, which was another single player game that is Lord
PC.
It is PC game.
I know. I've played it.
But yeah, like you said with the MLB, that's because that was their exclusive for a very long time, until 2 years now, I think. And it came to Game Pass, but it was
it's 3, 21, 22, and 23 are on Xbox.
Xbox was trying, like, they would make like their little thing, and it just was nowhere good. 2K stopped making it a long time ago, I think in like 13. And MLB The Show took over that MLB market and has done phenomenal. But I will tell you, when you launch that game, it shows you the PlayStation symbol.
It hurts your feelings.
San Diego Studios is the maker of the game, and it says PlayStation San Diego Studios. So they let you know this is still PlayStation's.
Well, I launched it today and it hurt me.
Well, and they don't have, the problem is they're having to put their foot in the mouth a lot of this shit because Microsoft is buying the market.
Didn't PlayStation just lose the case against them too, trying to get the one?
Yeah. Yeah.
They just lost it.
Yeah, they lost.
Like everybody was like, "Nah, it's good."
Or think about the other exclusive PlayStation has. I mean, we rival it on Xbox with Forza, but Gran Turismo
sucks.
Yeah, I like Forza better.
Forza's way better because Forza also dips into the Horizons, and that's a completely different play.
Yeah,
and it's so much more fun.
But Gran Turismo back in the day was.
But it was the only.
Back in the day, it was elite, but
it
Forza came out and put it into place.
Forza's big thing for me is the visuals, man. I like it's not even has nothing to do with the cars half the time. Is visually that game is so satisfying. Just
but like the biggest problem that Forza ever had against it was Porsche. Porsche would not, because I believe Gran Turismo had Porsche in it. If you ever go look at any Forza, there's no Porsche. You'll have like RUF, you'll have the side brands that they built themselves. But Porsche was never in Forza until I believe one of the most recent Horizons where they finally, that license ran out and you could put Porsche in. Go look at them. I'm telling you. Porsche, they lost Porsche for quite a long time.
I'm trying to think. I mean, granted, I didn't spend most of my time racing in those. All I did was I lived in the paint shop. I did paint jobs, sold paint jobs. Like that's how. Like Forza 3.
Also, it's so
I made millions from that.
I think the Horizons are just so enjoyable because like I'm not personally a track racer. I love that rally shit. That is my go-to. I love it. That's the most enjoyable. Flying through the air.
I'd love to.
100.
I wish you guys would be around when me and Micah were at like our peak in Forza 4. Like
I will never be bad at Forza. I still placed in the top 2 or 3% for.
Well, what I'm saying is, Micah, how many hours did we spend on Fujimi Kaido in Forza 4? I mean, it was like wake up, build a car, slide down the fucking mountain for fucking 12 hours at a time.
Yeah.
Like, I love racing games and simulators I love it. I mean, being car guys, I think is when you're like a car guy and you get into a game where the cars do the actual car stuff is a really nice itch.
Right.
But you got to give it to like Gran Turismo's fallen off a lot for me because games like Assetto Corsa where you can do whatever you want. Horizon has dipped into the niche brands of cars and styles. I mean, you go get a 240Z, you know you're putting a wide body kit on it, or I should say a 240SX in that game. But
you'll get a 1997 BMW M3, you know you're putting a wide body kit.
No, I'm just saying, like
you want it to look like the most wanted one. You want to look as much like, because I mean, dude, could we imagine redoing the undergrounds in Need for Speed?
As long as they don't put fucking hydraulics back in it. What a fucking stupid thing.
Can we keep all our neons like in my trunk and under my hood?
Yeah, I'm fine with all the dumb like 2000s car shit, but ain't nobody have a slammed fucking Civic Si with Drawlix in the motherfucker hopping down the fucking road. Didn't happen. I'm sorry.
Those games were.
I'm sorry. With those games coming out, me and Micah and the boys were dipping into it in real life, going out to meet, seeing the cool shit. Ain't nobody out there with their fucking Supra. Like none of that
like
shit.
You would probably like this. Psycho is Undisputed. Is the new boxing game. It is on Steam. Will be coming to console. No announced yet. I don't know if you guys were ever into Fight Night Cup or Dr. Jack. Those games were amazing.
I played the fuck out of UFC. I'll tell you that.
See, I enjoy it, but man, when I play UFC, I just want to. I'm trying to throw haymakers. I don't want to go to the ground. Let's just stand here and
Duke it out.
bust it out. Just duke it out. So like, Undisputed is on Steam right now.
It's got positive reviews too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Huge,
watched Max and Dunny play it.
huge licenses. They got like all the a lot of the fighters that are out fighting now,
I don't even,
and
dude,
old retired guys.
I don't even know any boxers anymore, man.
Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury are two of the biggest in the world.
Man, I'm just saying.
Hello.
I remember getting on the ground in UFC, not knowing what the hell I'm doing, and it was just my hands doing this on the controller till we got to stand back up and beat the shit out of each other.
I remember
Somebody just turn a PlayStation on?
No, it was my Xbox restarting. Sorry.
like probably a year ago playing UFC 4. I was playing with Placebo. You guys know. We were playing UFC, and then you can put the game mode on. It's called Stand and Bang, to where it's no ground stuff. That's what we normally play.
It just doesn't sound right.
You know, right? It
Stand and
doesn't. But so he invites me to the match, and I was like, "Is this Stand and Bang?" And he's like, "Yeah." We're about a minute or two into the fight, and he does a takedown on me. He lied. It was a normal fight. I was like, "All right, bro, this was your choice." He tapped like 30 seconds later. It was over. I said, "Bro, we play. If you wanted to play that way, you could have just let me know. I got you. You wouldn't have tricked me."
I agree. It's the most memorable UFC moment.
Oh man, this was when it first came out.
It was
right?
the first one, yeah. It's the first
UFC
one.
Undisputed 2009.
I know what you're talking about. I know.
Yeah.
But it's
Psycho and I were playing. He was Spider, so Anderson Silva. Man, I believe I was probably Rashawn Evans, or Rashad Evans. And we're duking it, and we kind of back off both sides out of the octagon. And he does the famous thing that Anderson Silva was known for, that flying knee. He comes
Oh, no.
across.
Best part, he had me in the gray. Like, I was
Oh
about
yeah,
to be done.
he was about to sleep.
And I'm like, you know what? He gonna rush me. So I rushed him and caught him with that flying knee and
And I was
out,
I was
bro.
asleep.
Out.
Oh, you know what? How did we not talk about this? Because this I know is huge for you. Is Tekken 8 and all the.
Oh
teams
yeah, I
we
think I
are
saw
doing
something about that.
The
Oh, I'm so
trailers for
excited, boy.
characters. The game looks gorgeous. The gameplay looks flawless. The characters they've added new moves to their movesets. They're reworking play. Man, Tekken 8 looks
It just says
fantastic.
coming soon, though. There's no.
Yeah, there's no release date. They're just showing that it's made. Like, it's here. Gonna happen. Yeah,
Coming
guess what?
soon on Steam usually means sometime this year.
Yeah, coming soon, probably
Bro.
to them.
Fuck that. Coming soon means maybe. I've got two
No.
games on there that haven't had updates on fucking anything for a year.
But it's the same theory. that
TVA is the scary one, though. Once it switches to TVA, dude, it's fucking that game is dead. It's never
That
happened.
game, the same theory that Psycho has is them having coming soon. Street Fighter's dropping soon.
They're waiting for Street Fighter to drop, and then they're gonna.
Yeah, so it
Got
seems like they want to come in on Street Fighter's game and be like, no, let's watch us make the money.
They're gonna shadow drop.
Well, that's like, dude, I'm just saying. Everybody here
I'm not a
knows.
Street
Like,
Fighter
that's
guy.
the game. That's the plan for everybody, man. Like, I love it, but it's like, damn, some of these games don't get a fucking chance. They're like, hey, we're gonna release it, then it's like, fuck you,
That-
we are
that-
too,
that-
bitch.
I think that's one of the worst things in the gaming community is you'll be excited for some game, it drops. 2 weeks later, another big game that you were excited for drops, and you're like,
Didn't that
Dude, I don't know
happen
what to get my
with
attention
Hogwarts? Something else dropped right around that same time.
Yeah, I remember Hogwarts. Two things happening. We had some big updates in COD as well.
It's season 2.
Yeah.
Season 2 dropped.
Yeah.
We're only 10 days away from season 3.
But I'm just saying, like, I remember being like, "Oh, Hogwarts is," and Psycho's like, he and Han a little bit about Hogwarts, and he's like, "But season 2," I'm like, "Fuck season 2, fucking Avada Kedavra!" Like,
Yeah, and that's one of the worst things you can experience as a gamer. Is something you're excited for, and then another thing you're excited for drops right at like within a week or two span, and you're just like, I don't know what to give my attention to.
I'm trying to think of a.
That's what happened to Titanfall 2.
Yes,
that's
that's
what
what I'm
happened.
thinking of.
It came
That's
out
what
when
happened to
COD
Hogwarts.
came out.
Was I gave
I
all
like
the attention to
Titanfall too.
Hogwarts for like a week, and I haven't touched it.
Which one?
Hogwarts.
I gave it. I gave it. I mean, I had a solid week and a half that I was playing it, and I'm not saying it's not a great game because it's fantastic. Everything about it, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But other things were grabbing my attention to where I was like, oh, dude, I just haven't played back.
Well, and that's just in general. That's just video
I'm
gaming,
not
right?
huge- I'm just not huge on single player games.
That's like me with Monster Hunter. It holds my attention for like a week or two at a time, and then I
Mm-hmm.
fall off.
Well, and like the shitty part about Hogwarts is like I've beaten it, right? Got to the parts, saw all the cool shit, and don't get me wrong. Again, I out of most people sat and just praised the game. They did everything right. The only thing that they did wrong was the fucking voice for your character. Once you changed it from the middle, you had like a goddamn spectral voice. But that game did everything right from the day it came out. Not 2 weeks into it when they had to do this updating shit. That game smacked it up on download. But it's one of those games that you get to the end and there's not a whole lot of reward for 100%ing it, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, you get all the cool spells and shit, but I had every spell. I had a bunch of shit. And you played through it and you were done. I mean, and don't get me wrong, that's not a bad thing. It's a single player game. They closed the story. They left it open for whatever they could do, but it's over. You know what I mean? Which is fine. It's just that's a single player game is the only part with single player games is that when they're done, they're done. You know what I mean? It's like you don't necessarily need to go back for another 6 years and replay it to be like, oh man, I remember this being a lot of fun, you know? But I think we are to the end of our session tonight. I think we've had a
Oh,
rather interesting conversation.
I do too. But so I think this would be a cool way to end. Is just pick a genre of games and let's like our top three of that genre.
Okay.
Personal top three, and then we can go around and you can, give a little comment on what you thought of the other person's list.
Yeah. So let's do FPS since we're starting end of the night kind of on that.
So, Dr. Jack, you want to start us off on your FPSs?
I'm gonna have to say I love it and hate it, but Tarkov probably be one for me because it's such a pain in the ass. Is why I love it so much. And then probably like COD and Halo.
All very.
You're gonna leave Titanfall off that list?
I like Titanfall, but it's kind of dead in the water right now. So
What about you, Psycho?
Call of Duty holds my number one. I hated from Ghost up until recently.
2019. Modern Warfare.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't even really care for that one. But and then they went back down with Vanguard and all that. I didn't like those. But Call of Duty will always be number one. I'm not a Battlefield fan, but Battlefield Hardline sets at number two because it was fantastic. And I mean, I'd probably put Siege at 3 because when we were playing religiously, like we were hitting.
Yeah.
But that's one of those games. Like, you take a break,
That's one of those niche games.
you're
that
done.
you
You're
gotta play
done.
that game.
like I've tried to go back and dude, I tried to peek a window, my face is gone. So there's no point.
And what about you, Cup?
Number one is going to be Warzone 2.0 specifically. I have a lot of time in Call of Duty just playing over the years with the different groups I've played with, right in my heart of hearts right now, I've had a lot of fun. I've made a lot of good memories. I mean, the game plays well. The guns feel good. You don't feel like the next gun comes out for $20 and it's all of a sudden better. Don't get me wrong. There's balancing that does take place, and that is just the nature of having a revolving door for things to be given and unlocked. And, you want to have a gun come out and it be hype, but it's not ridiculous. Like, the Hemlock came out and it was better than a lot of shit, but you could still go toe-to-toe with an M13. You could still go toe-to-toe with an M4. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't like if you had a Hemlock, I was buzzing you down because you had a different gun. Like, yes, if you can hit your shots, when the Hemlock first released, it was better. It's the truth. And that's fine, and they've done a lot better. I think they've taken away... I mean, there's the microtransactions and the things to buy, but it's not ridiculous yet. So, as of today, Call of Duty. 2 is always this game is always gonna be my top 3, even though I'm at a kind of negative look at it right now. But Destiny has had a huge impact on my life in general, with meeting pretty much everyone in Harry Wizards Gaming one way or another through Destiny. I mean, pretty much consider my admins and mods some of my best friends I've ever had, and 90% of them come from my Destiny community that I started, and thank God it happened. You know what I mean? I can just say that, and that's gushy of me, but truthfully, the people that we surround ourselves with are phenomenal individuals. Some better than the others, and certain situations that we've made changes for, but that's just the way it is. But when I tell people who my best friends in life are, that's where it came from. It was just to give a little history on Harry Wizards Gaming. It was me sitting by myself in this very room now 3 years ago, since March is over. So we probably should have celebrated the 3-year anniversary. But sitting in this room, me and Dom, if everybody knows who Dom is, you'd remember him. And I go, you know what? I'm sick of being in these random lobbies with these random people in these clans. I'm starting my own. And then you had people like TDN and Smiley come through, and then a little bit more time comes through, and I get introduced to Psycho through, looking for somebody to be in groups with and get raids on. And Psycho becomes one of my admins through the time, and we meet him in person. Grizz follows through. Micah stepped back into my life because of that game. It's the truth. Max is the same way, later on in it. But it's not my number one played game right now, my game I'm the most excited about, but it does probably carry the most weight of any game out there socially and emotionally throughout. And then number 3, that's a tough one. You have games like Siege that I did the same thing. I have a lot of time in Siege. It was wonderful, and that probably would be my number 3. Probably to go back to someday. I would love it just to play in casuals with people, because I think as a team a lot of us are good enough. But Siege was great. The casuals don't anymore. That's great. No. Anyway, it was great.
Not in that, bro.
but Siege is does it well, and honorable mention just for the goofiness of it. I do have to put an honorable mention for Payday. That game is a good sidebar into between 3 and 4 for me, is between those two. I don't have a ton of time in Payday, but it's a good, like, kind of like a breath of fresh air compared to what you're used to. You know what I mean? But that's mine.
If I would have done an honorable mention, what mine would have been. I'd have put Division on there, because like how you did.
Not FPS though. Division's third person.
You're right. Right. True. So good. We do third person. I got it.
If I was to do an honorary mention, I'd say Battlefield 4. I spent a lot of time on that game. And that's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, Grizz, finish this out, man.
See, you pointing out the FPS thing. I couldn't. My number one shooter is not a first person. Yeah, and that's just because, like you were saying, that game just holds more of a place in my heart than it's that I play it. But it's not even like I love this game. It's in it because it's number one. Because I really can't really stand the franchise that much anymore. It's so lackluster to me from what it was, but it is still playable, and it's Call of Duty. And I don't enjoy Call of Duty the way it is now compared to what it was. That's also the just nostalgia aspect that we have of it. But man, that's taking Gears away, really. 'Cause I could literally just stopped at like Gears and like that's it. But man, see, and honest, I had Army of Two was in there. That's third person too. Army of Two would have made that list as a shooter. Campaign. That game was fantastic.
It's like, quick question: if you would have put PUBG on the list, would that count?
I mean,
No.
it's both.
It's
No.
both.
Not-
Bro, hold on.
But no one really
I
plays
played.
it.
I
I
played in
don't.
first person.
That's fine. You played in first person, but the
I know.
entire game was built around a third person
They
game.
do this so they can see around the corner.
Yeah.
I would
We
say
got 3 coming.
more specifically on COD, Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1 are number 1 specifically. I'd have to say just the times I had was definitely Hardline as well. Like just the group we had was insane.
Break out them tasers, dog.
And I'd say game of enjoyment, Destiny 1. Just Destiny 1, not 2. Destiny 1 was fantastic. Loved it.
Destiny 1 at the end.
Well, I mean, I enjoyed the multiplayer so much. Iron Banner, dude. Every time Iron Banner was around, I would not touch the game. Iron Banner came around. All right, I'm here. I got you. Let's go. And that was, we had a group then that it was that's all they played was Destiny.
Cup knows him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Griff and them.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Griffey's freaking Grizzlies.
Them boys. Yeah.
Grizzlies partner, bro.
Yeah, I mean, when we played Destiny 1, because you've met and talked to Griff, that's my guy. That's my A1 Day 1 guy when it came to Destiny. That was like, when you go into raids and you got to break into your 2-man team. Don't even ask, because you know that's who I'm with. Or if we're running Crucible and IB, it's, hey, he always did this. Hey, you got a spot up there for me close to the top of the leaderboard? I might save you some kills, but yeah, that honorable mention. Man, first person shooter.
Yeah, I don't really have an honorable mention now.
You know what?
I guess Destiny would probably be my honorable mention.
This is a growing up thing was Medal of Honor, playing Medal of Honor back in the day. Yeah.
Back in the
Well, fucking Rising Sun, dog. Let's go.
Or the Ghost Recon's Advanced
They're
Warfighters.
third. They're third.
No,
Third.
Advanced Warfighters were first.
Were they?
Yes. The Advanced Warfighters were first person.
Advanced Warfighter 2 is
Yep. And they were
100%.
they were making their game at a way different level than a lot of shooters were at that time. But so yeah, that'd probably be the list for me because I played a ton of Medal of Honor growing up.
I got an honorable mention for all of us because we've played together. We would put Ready or Not on there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Heard-
my
heard
favorite.
that.
That's an honorable mention just because it's so hard, and if your communication isn't like perfect,
Key.
and like you don't know where everybody is, you're either killing each other or killing a hostage that you're not supposed to be trying to even like go near.
That was
Yeah.
that was my intro to the PC, and only got to play because of Top Gear.
I got you, boys.
The second I got my Steam account set up, it was like, you have a gift.
Boom, motherfucker. Here you go. Hey, you guys want to play this game? I don't know. Too late. It's in your fucking library. Let's
I
go.
literally had bought my PC for
I've
that game.
noticed
Like
that,
that's the
friend.
reason I pulled the trigger, was that game because of, what I used to want to do in life.
All right, man. Well, we got to end this sometime. I think we could talk all night about stuff.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
so I do want to send a special thank you to everyone for coming in, watching. It is late on recording night here. We are at the summit. Thank you for making your way up to the top here. We are going to close the doors. Come see us at all those Hair Wizards socials that you do see at the bottom of your screen. If not, don't hesitate to private message us Harry Wizards Gaming on Facebook. Make your way safely down and have a good night.
Peace.